Today on Wild on the Trail, I'm doing my first thru-hiker interview. And as I was online last night checking out some other vloggers and everything and reading all the comments, I couldn't help but notice that a YouTuber that I had been following was actually in my area. I'd noticed a comment that someone had crossed into Pennsylvania, and of course their videos are running a few weeks behind due to some do it for privacy and some do it simply because you have to do all the editing, and then when you're off trail or you can find Wi-Fi, you upload the videos, so there's a delay. So I was real excited to find out that someone not only was in Pennsylvania, but I'd sent them a private message, and come to find out they were literally 3 blocks away from my home. So I do want to introduce to everybody WrongWay.
Hey guys.
He's been gracious enough to allow me to interview him, and so we're going to take some time to turn the camera around and we're going to ask him a few questions. First thing I want to do is give you a sincere word of thanks for taking some time to meet with me.
Thanks for meeting up with me, and
it was really cool.
All the generosity.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was really cool. I had sent him a message last evening. Come to find out that he was in a hotel just a few blocks away, and he invited me out to start giving some positive advice on staying hydrated with hops and barley, and also hiker hunger. So we took care of that last evening, which was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
So again, thank you for taking the time to allow me to interview you. So where are you from, and can you tell me how you got your trail name?
I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, and the trail name came about from my section hike. So I was doing southbound leapfrogs. It started off as either a 3-mile hike or a 3-day hike, and it turned into 5 section hikes, pretty much Springer through Harper's Ferry, minus a couple 100 miles in Virginia. But I kept running into the same people. I'd hop up north, hike south, hop up further north, hike south. And when I'd meet people, I'd be like, hey man, you're going the wrong way, to kind of break the ice.
Yeah,
and they're like, what do you mean I'm going the wrong way? And I'm like, well, look at all the merchandise. It's changing now, but most of it says Maine to Georgia, not Georgia to Maine. So, and then a combination of that and going the wrong way on the trail, coming out of camp, hanging out with people. So
yeah, people were probably
and then in
really
Hot
shocked.
Springs, I got my name from this girl.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now you're actually not only through hiking, but you're considering doing a yo-yo.
Yes, correct.
So you're going to head to Katahdin and turn around and come back.
That's what I'm hoping. We got to make it to Katahdin first, but I got the whole year to be on the trail. We'll see how far I go.
That's awesome.
I'm going to try to enjoy it.
You're almost at the halfway point, so I guess you're almost a quarter of the way.
Almost a quarter of the way.
For the yo-yo.
Yeah.
What was your actual start date?
January 2nd.
January the 2nd.
Yes.
And absolutely. What inspired you to start on January 2nd and all the cold and the potential weather conditions and everything?
I saw Subman post a picture of tags are in.
Okay.
And I wanted to tag.
Oh, man.
And I was just sitting around making pack explosion videos or whatever, and I'm like, I'm going to the trail tomorrow. He was there on the 1st.
So it was actually
they had 2019 tags, and I was like, oh, because I was planning February 27th to take off.
Wow. You wanted to, and what tag number did you end up with?
4.
Number 4.
And then there was also another friend of mine at section hike. He wanted to do the Smokies February 1st, and there's no way I was going in the Smokies with fresh legs on February 1st. So I figured I'd hike between gaps and back and use my truck and do some trail magic until I could time it to where we can meet at February 1st. But he wasn't able to do it because of illness in the family and stuff. So
that sounds awesome.
I ended up going January 30th, a little bit earlier. But
so now that you're in Pennsylvania and you've crossed over the legendary Mason-Dixon line, let's talk about the pronunciation of the term Appalachian Trail or Appalachian Trail.
It's apple chin.
It's apple chin.
It's no.
So that's another variation that I have to learn.
Now you do, yeah. And for me, it's the Anarchy Trail, but
okay, that's awesome.
But that's Appalachian. I guess it depends on where you're at, and what part of the country.
That's what I've come to find. I know us folks. I'll say I don't like to use the term us northern folk, but it seems like what I've encountered is as soon as you cross over the Mason-Dixon line, you'll hear more folks saying Appalachian. And what I've seen through videos and stuff, folks down south, some people have already given me a hard time. It's Appalachian. It's Appalachian. So, but I think it's a great indicator that kind of indicates where somebody may be from.
Sure.
If you had it to do over tomorrow, would you still start on January the 2nd?
Yes. or even the first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be because of the tag number?
No, just the tag. I just wanted a tag this year. You know,
wow.
I wanted a 2019 tag to carry with me the whole way.
Okay,
so.
that's awesome. Considering you started so early with the extreme cold, the wet, and the snow, and the poor conditions, and even the blowdowns, the trail conditions,
Yes.
a lot of people don't consider that,
Right.
how poorly the trail can be, but because of course trail maintainers, they simply can't get out, you know,
Yes.
to take care of the down limbs. What was some of your biggest challenges starting out so early?
Resupply and hostels and stuff, because not everybody's open then, and ones that are open, you know, with the cold weathers, like one place they were having frozen water issues,
Right.
and then a couple of places I hoped to stay at, they were on vacation, so
Okay.
and then certain stores and restaurants aren't open at that time, so
Okay.
that's been a bit of a challenge, just logistics, I guess.
Sure.
Besides the, you know, blowdowns and snow and
Right.
ice, but that's probably just as big of a challenge as
Sure.
those things.
How did you handle your water purification? Did you use like Aquamare drops, or
I've
did you?
used Sawyer.
Okay, so you filtered pretty much everything, just
Yes.
avoided everything freezing up and running.
Probably had 2 filters freeze this year, and I had changed them out.
Okay.
But I had to use them for a little while, you know, and
Sure.
I wasn't 100% sure. I did change one out that somebody else had given me, and they thought theirs had frozen too.
Mm-hmm.
And his was more obvious that it had frozen, and
Sure.
I drank. But usually I pick water that I would drink from that's not that I wouldn't filter.
Sure.
But I filter it anyway, just because I'm going to be on the trail a long time, and
Right.
I just want to make sure.
Avoid any illness.
Yeah,
or bacteria.
as much as I can, you
Sure.
know, to a certain degree. Obviously, I mean, I guess I could boil then filter it and do all that, but I've been pretty good with filters.
Sure.
All the section hikes I've done, I've never gotten sick.
That's one thing. When I gone out, I'd done a winter shakedown video here, I guess about a month ago, and right away when it dipped below, you know, I was prepared to deal with, you know, the temperature of the water, and then I'd filtered water the night before it got cold, and then when I poured the water out the next morning, although it looked like it was thawed, it actually froze in a cup
Yes.
immediately, but it had already been through my filter. Of course, I slept with my filter and everything.
Yeah, I
kept,
did too.
Kept it from freezing.
Sometimes I'll sleep with water. I'll just dump all my water out that night and just get more in the morning, especially if it's close to the shelter.
Okay. So again, since you started so early,
Yeah.
what do you feel was your most important gear that got you through? The stuff that was absolutely critical to keep you dry, keep you warm.
Well, the frog tugs kept me dry.
Okay.
Cuddle beds kept me warm,
Okay.
and then my sleeping bag and insulated pad were wonderful.
Okay.
Well, I have a light and equipment quilt, but
Okay. What was the temperature rating on your quilt again?
10 degrees.
10 degrees.
Yes.
Okay, and that kept you warm enough with everything that you had along?
Oh, yes.
No, you've been pretty comfortable from the word go.
All
then.
over, except for fingers.
Okay.
and I dealt with that with some mittens that I got from Dick's Sporting Goods that worked
Okay.
real well.
Awesome. How about socks? Did you use any type of waterproof socks? Or
Used the Randy Sun
Okay.
waterproof socks for the most part.
That's what you told me last evening. I want to make sure I
I've
could
been
take
looking
that away
for
from you.
sealskins and dry-axle, but no outfitters carry anything like that. But
Okay.
they've taken note, and they may start carrying them now.
Awesome. Awesome.
But they definitely help with the warmth, and you know they're not 100% waterproof forever, but
Right.
you know 4 or 5 hours before it really starts soaking in to
Okay.
the socks. So
Sure. So since you've already made it almost to the halfway point, what has been your biggest challenge so far on the trail? Your single biggest challenge?
dealing with the wind, the cold wind,
Okay.
that's been my challenge. Like mentally,
Sure.
it started wearing on me over time. You
Right.
know, especially when we got some warm days, and then we dropped down in the teens and single digits again.
Sure.
It was just that, and maybe maintaining body weight. You know, eating enough food.
Yeah, it's one thing I've noticed, and we'll definitely talk more about your channel here towards the end. You've lost a tremendous amount of weight.
Yes.
That's something that if I'm blessed to make the attempt, I'm actually looking forward to
Sure.
doing is losing a little bit of weight.
It's a nice feeling when you know, like, I'm lighter than with my backpack than I was without my backpack
Right.
when I started. So.
Right. That's a great way to cut pack weight, but you also have to keep that balance between staying healthy and
Yeah, fortunately I've not felt really drained, other than I might have been getting sick a little bit towards Waynesboro and the cold wearing on me, but
Okay.
I usually feel like I have enough energy. I eat enough to have energy to hike.
Now, was that Waynesboro, Virginia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Now we're double Waynesboro.
Sure. And for those of you listening, we're actually in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Let's take a moment just to talk briefly about trail food. What have you come to love on the trail? What have you come to absolutely hate that you would never eat again?
So far I haven't come to hate anything. Haven't been eating as much tuna right now because frozen tuna sickles kind of turned me off a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely would me too.
Yeah, so other than that, I still like pretty much all of it, you know.
Okay.
Right, you know, I'm carrying a lot of pepperoni and beef jerky these days.
Sure.
I'd never get tired of ramen. I just don't have any in my bag right now.
Right.
I guess this year is the first year I did ramen bombs, and I really dig those.
Yeah, I'm a huge ramen junkie even before I would ever get on trail, so I have so many different variations.
So my best favorite trail food is town food that I hike out with me.
Okay, there you go.
Sub or pizza or whatever.
Definitely can't argue with that answer. I had a chance to talk a little bit last evening because you've definitely taken a little bit of time to come off trail and enjoy some sights along the way. What has been your most memorable experience thus far, whether it be a location or an overlook? What's been your most, it could even be an interaction with some friends you may have made on the trail?
There's been so many.
Well, that's good to hear right there. There's been so many.
Well, getting to the C&O Canal when it goes to DC really jazzed me up. Like, I thought about it a little bit and I wasn't really planning on doing it. I would have probably taken the train from Harper's Ferry, but then I got to that point and I was like, I'm going to DC.
Yeah, cool.
and I enjoyed going there and going to Great Falls. You know, that place has a lot of memories growing up and going and hanging out and going to museums. So that was really enjoyable. And then my fiance coming to visit me.
Oh wow, that's great.
You know, she's done that a few times, and then she set up for my mom and her sister and my daughter and her boyfriend to come, which was a nice surprise and good time hanging out. That's
great. So, well, listen, I wasn't expecting to ask you this, but since you mentioned fiance, I have a fiance myself. How have you been able to? Has it been a huge challenge maintaining that relationship, or have you been able to communicate via phone? Or
yeah, we communicate on the phone, and she's been out a few times to visit, and she's real supportive of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mine seems to be very supportive too, but I gotta admit, I'm gonna miss her like crazy.
Oh yeah, you will.
I absolutely. That's probably, you know, missing family is probably going to be, you know, the toughest challenge, you know, for me, being away from that.
Yeah, I did a lot of soul searching before I left to like be able to deal with that, you know, knowing that there's going to be months I might not see her. So
sure. And I think planning the visits, you know, during your journey and stuff, I think that just can really help
it
get
does.
you through.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Cool.
Just it gets tough planning, you know, like a week out or 2 weeks out. So, you know, it's like, how many miles and where am I gonna be?
Yeah, should I hit the gas pedal or should I hit the brakes? Or
sure.
Yeah. Okay, I can definitely understand that. So far on your journey, how would you feel that the trail has changed you in any way, shape, or form, other than obviously your weight loss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little more physically fit or whatever, but guess I feel more spiritual and more connected with people. Feeling pretty good about, like, I guess, synergy or whatever, if things just falling into place and happening along the trail that need to happen, I guess, when they should happen.
Great.
Yeah. And the connections that I make, you know, with other people.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think it's brought me back to a point that I was when I was younger, but you know, living in cities and stuff, you kind of move away from it because people aren't so sociable sometimes, you know, or kind of standoffish,
or living the grind.
Living the grind, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel blessed to have made it this far.
Yeah, you're rocking it out
in this condition.
Yeah, you're definitely so, rocking it out. You're favored to, you know, complete the trail.
Yeah.
And I guess what is it? 20% by Neil Gap and 50% by Hot Springs, and then, you know, you're still at it, so you're almost at a halfway, or the official halfway point. You know?
Woohoo!
So good for you. Any advice you would like to offer to vloggers like myself? Just started my channel and everything, and any tips that you've learned on the trail? What makes it easy? What makes it hard after a long day?
First, I'd start with don't take advice from me. Look at my videos.
Okay.
But yeah, just planning out and knowing what you're going to use and would be helpful. You know, like understanding your equipment fairly well. You know, mine's limited, but if you have the funds, you know, get the best you can. You know, with respect to weight, obviously, and what you really want to do. But just start doing it. And I've tried a couple of different things, and the cell phone just works easiest.
And that's the direction I want to go. I want to keep it simple, keep it easy, and not really. I want to be able to share my experience, but I don't want it to impose.
Yes.
You know. What type of advice would you offer any aspiring thru-hikers such as myself as to making the decision to get out and to make the journey? What was there anything that kind of, aside from the tag, is there any advice you would offer just in general, making the commitment to make such a long journey?
Just be prepared that all your planning probably isn't going to be what you expect it to be. You know, just be prepared to adapt and adjust as you go down the trail.
Sure.
You know,
awesome.
You know, get a good setup, but just know things are going to change.
Okay.
Or if you don't change them, then you may miss out on things too. You know.
Sure.
So, my advice is take it easy. You know, listen to your body. You know, keep moving forward. Try not to push too hard and enjoy the time out there. You know, try to give yourself as much time as you can. You know, unless you're just one of those people who want to, you know, see how far and fast you can go, or you know, everybody's got their own destination in their mind, but just be prepared to do that day in and day out.
Awesome.
You should be okay.
Sounds like solid advice to me.
Either that or just stick to section hikes. You get to go home.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're gonna do the thru hike, just enjoy it. You know, try not to hurt yourself, and take some of those side trips. You know.
Sure. Awesome.
You know.
That sounds like great advice to me.
Yeah.
Definitely well taken. Did you want to go ahead and tell us where we can find you online, on YouTube, Instagram? You want to give us all of your...
Yeah, sure. So I have, for YouTube and Instagram, it's Where's WrongWay for both of those.
Okay.
And then Facebook, Scott Schaefer, S-H-A-F-E-R.
Okay.
And hit me up on either one of those.
Okay. All right, there you have it, folks. And I do want to, again, WrongWay, thank you so much for taking the time. I realize you're off trail anyway, but I appreciate you taking a little extra time here to sit and share your experiences with me and with the YouTube community. So we're going to go ahead and get him back on trail. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment regarding any questions, I hope to do some more interviews in the future. If you have any questions that you would like to ask any thru-hikers that may be coming through the area, we'd be happy to share that as well. Thanks again for watching The Wild on the Trail.
Happy trails.